you can count on us. This is 7 News Good Morning Fort Sill.
Well, good morning, and thanks for joining us for another edition of Good Morning Fort Sill.
We got plenty of military news to get to, but first let's check in with our chief meteorologist, Barrett Phillips. And Barrett, at least we're above the freezing mark starting.
Yeah, definitely. A lot warmer this morning.
Yeah, we are. We're in the 30s and 40s throughout most of Texoma, so it is a warmer morning out there, almost that afternoon. Anyways, you'll notice that we're seeing cloudy but dry conditions out there. Also, those winds are on the lighter side. They are from the south, though. That plus the cloud coverage allowed temperatures to be a little bit milder this morning than what they were yesterday morning. We were sitting in the 20s throughout much of the area, and that's Cameron University Tower Cam, by the way. You do notice the cloud coverage streaming in from the southwest. Cloudy to mostly cloudy skies throughout all of Texoma, but nothing falling from the clouds. So we're going to keep the rain chance zeroed out for your Fort Sill physical training forecast. Cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. Light south wind will continue about 5 to 15 miles an hour, so we don't even have to worry about the winds out there this morning. Overall for December morning, actually quite mild temperature-wise. Maybe a jacket, maybe a light coat if you're heading out. Also, if you're exercising as well. Temperatures near 40 degrees and not really budging much through 7 a.m. You'll have to wait till about 8 or 9 a.m. before those temperatures start to rise. We'll have more coming up. The National Guard has identified the soldiers who died in an attack in Syria.
Sergeant Edgar Torres Tovar and Sergeant Nate Howard were killed by an alleged ISIS shooter. Isabella Warren explains the mission the soldiers were carrying out.
Flags fly at half-staff on Monday in front of the Iowa State Capitol as the state mourns 2 Iowa National Guard members. Sergeant Edgar Torres Tovar and Sergeant Nate Howard were killed in Syria by an alleged ISIS shooter. A U.S. civilian contractor working with the soldiers was also killed. 3 other members of the Iowa National Guard were injured. 2 are in stable but critical condition.
Our soldiers were doing their job, serving with courage, dedication, and professionalism. They carried out their mission to the best of their ability, and we are proud of their incredible service and sacrifice.
The 2 were part of the 2nd Brigade Combat Team, 34th Infantry Division. The Iowa National Guard says the squadron was on a counter-ISIS mission, part of Operation Inherent Resolve. Major General Stephen Osborne says 1,800 Iowa National Guard members were deployed in May of 2025 to the Middle East. 200 to 250 are in Syria.
Operate as part of Combined Joint Task Force Operation Inherent Resolve, which was established by the U.S. Central Command in 2014 to assist, advise, and enable partner forces to fight ISIS. While ISIS's conventional military capability was significantly depleted following its territorial defeat in 2019, its fighters remain dispersed across the region and continue to pose a threat.
Saturday's tragedy marks the deadliest attack on U.S. soldiers in Syria since 2019. The last Iowa Guard member killed in combat was in 2011. In Des Moines, I'm Isabella Warren.
Thanks, Isabella. The U.S. military conducted strikes against 3 alleged drug trafficking boats in the Eastern Pacific yesterday, killing 8 people.
According to U.S. Southern Command, intelligence confirmed the vessels were operating in known narco-trafficking routes.
Now, at least 95 people have been killed in those strikes on suspected drug boats. As part of Operation Southern Spear, the Trump administration has told Congress that the U.S. is in an armed conflict against drug cartels that began with its first attack on September 2nd. Army OBGYN Blaine McGraw, who is facing multiple sex crime allegations from women at Fort Hood, Texas, is now facing a new lawsuit out of Hawaii.
7 new patients from Tripler Army Medical Center in Honolulu claim McGraw secretly videotaped and groped them while they were pregnant, had just given birth, or were in the ICU. McGraw was arrested earlier this month and is awaiting trial. So far, the Army has notified about 1,600 patients treated by McGraw at Tripler from 2019 to 2023. Looking at our local news, the 75th Field Artillery Brigade Commander Colonel Paul Lashley was the guest speaker at the Great Plains AMBUCS meeting this week.
That's right. Colonel Lashley spoke on a number of topics, including the brigade's mission, modernization of equipment, and its worldwide deployability with 1 unit overseas right now.
Currently, 114, which is one of the battalions we have, is deployed to Europe in support of Atlantic Resolve. And this Atlantic Resolve is about helping train other countries on the HIMARS weapon systems that we have, and then also providing a forward-facing HIMARS battalion to help deter Russian aggression, Russian expansion.
The 75th Field Artillery Brigade is the largest rocket and missile unit in the U.S. military, with plans to expand capability over the next several years.
Now, Kyle, I was in this brigade for on and off several different times while I was stationed here at Fort Sill. So the brigade's expansion specifically talked about it. It involves adding launchers, personnel, and equipment. Right now, they have 5 rocket and missile battalions. So each battalion has 2 batteries of 8 launchers, so 16 total. That expansion, they're saying they're gonna up basically to 3 firing batteries of 9 launchers, so 27 launchers per firing battalion versus 16. So 11 additional launchers per battalion. But there will be additional personnel and logistics and sustainment personnel as well. So they've been talking about this for a while. It's finally coming to fruition. It'll take a few years, but in total, that's basically going. Just put it in perspective, total of 80 launchers in that brigade right now. They'll expand to 135 launchers. That's a 60% increase in firepower. So pretty exciting for the Diamond Brigade for sure.
Well, runners from across the Lawton Fort Sill community participated in the Reindeer Run over the weekend, the last event of this year's run series.
Fort Sill MWR says that their energy, determination, and holiday spirit made it an unforgettable event. While this year's run series has come to an end, MWR is already gearing up for a jam-packed 2026 with even more excitement ahead. Stay tuned to Fort Sill MWR's Facebook page for those upcoming events.
The Twin Oaks Bowling Center is offering a unique opportunity this week. You can hit the lanes with Santa Claus tomorrow night from 7 to 9. $75 will get you 2 hours of bowling, up to 6 pairs of shoes, pizza, soda, and a goodie bag for each child. For more information, you can contact the number on your screen.
And if that's not enough time with Santa, he will be making a special appearance at Army Community Service out in Fort Sill this week. That event will happen Friday morning from 9 until 11 at the ACS building.
Santa's bringing some special guests, including Grinch and one of Dan's favorites, Buddy the Elf.
Buddy the Elf. I wonder, what do you think it's Will Ferrell?
Something tells me it probably won't be.
Probably not. Probably
there will be free photos available, along with cookies and popcorn, ornament decorating, and much more. The event is free and open to everyone. More info can be found on the Fort Sill ACS's Facebook page. And Reynolds Army Health Clinic will be hosting a blood drive this week. The drive will be Thursday from 8:30 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. Walk-ins are welcome. For more information, you can visit Ratch's Facebook page.
And members of Team Shepherd gathered over the weekend to participate in a Norwegian foot march.
A Norwegian foot march.
Yeah,
okay.
and we'll talk about it. Like, there's a little tail and we'll explain what it is.
I'm going to have to know more about this.
Yeah.
So, participants showed resilience, grit, and determination during the grueling 18.6-mile ruck.
Now, many airmen earned the coveted Norwegian Foot Marcher NFM badge. So that's the purpose of these. So a lot of our partner forces from different countries that serve on installations, they have different things, and U.S. military personnel can participate in like a Norwegian Foot March and actually earn a foreign badge.
Okay.
So that's what these airmen did here. They earned a Norwegian Foot March badge. So leaders say the effort that those who participated in the Ruck March inspires all of Team Shepherd. The Army has finished their year in review. Coming up on Good Morning Fort Sill, we'll recap some of the biggest accomplishments and changes of 2025.
7 News at 10, you can count on us.
Every evening,
a man charged in a deadly hit and run from 2023 has been sentenced.
7 News is working for you.
There's another shakeup in the Lawton City Council as another member announces their resignation.
Your first alert for what's next.
That triple-digit heat that you saw in those 2 towns, that'll be throughout most of our areas we heading in next week.
Uncovering breaking stories that impact Texoma.
The Lawton Firefighters Association is raising awareness about critical staffing issues.
7 News, working for you every night at 10. KSWO and the Lawton Fort Sill community want to thank our service members and their families for their service and sacrifice. We are extremely proud of your courage, dedication, and daily commitment to protecting our freedoms. To recent graduates and their extended families, congratulations on your accomplishment and welcome to our community. Lawton Fort Sill is a unique area like no other in the country, with our strong working relationship with our armed forces. Thank you for everything you do for us. Every evening,
the Duncan Police Department has arrested a suspect.
7 News is working for you. Your first alert for what's next.
Here's the way things stand as of right now.
Uncovering breaking stories that impact Texoma.
A small school district in southeast Oklahoma is closer to closing its doors.
Checking facts and finding solutions. 7 News, working for you every night at 5 and 6. Today's headlines, tonight's breaking news.
Watch this video.
And tomorrow's first alert.
Tracking storms tonight that'll impact your morning commute.
Stream tonight, stream anywhere. 7 News at 10, you can count on us.
7 News, working for you every night at 5 and 6. Get ready for your day with the First Alert 7 app. Here's your First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Barrett Phillips.
Welcome back, everyone. Temperatures out there generally in the 40s, but there are a few upper 30s north of the river across parts of southwest Oklahoma. In fact, at the airport, setting at 39 this morning. The same in Duncan, 43 in Waurika, 40, and then in Darko, 38 right now. And Altus, warmer temperatures to the south, even up to mid-40s, 45 in Jacksboro and Graham there. And these temperatures are about 10 to 15 degrees warmer for southwest Oklahoma than what they were yesterday at this time, even up to 25 degrees warmer further on to the south there. In fact, Graham at this time yesterday morning was sitting at 19 degrees, and now they're at about 45 right now. Anyways, you do notice that it is quite a warmer morning out there, that is for sure. So you notice some cloud coverage moving on through. It has to do with a very weak area of upper level low pressure that's rolling on through. Also, you notice it's keeping temperatures milder for parts of Oklahoma and Texas. You notice where we had these clear skies north and east, temperatures are quite a bit cooler there, and so the cloud coverage, one of the reasons why temperatures are so warm for this morning. So you do notice a little bit of a kink or a weakness in the atmosphere here, and that right there is what's giving our cloud coverage. It will eventually produce some rainfall later on today further to the east as we head into your Wednesday for sure, but as far as we're concerned, we're going to remain mainly dry. Now, a front does come in on Thursday, maybe cooling us down just a little bit, but as we approach parts of the weekend, temperatures in the 70s. You notice for the most part, the storm track stays to our north, and so because of that, we're on the warmer side of things moving forward. Very little precip chance. You go just east, though, fair chances for the next several days further on to the east. But for Texoma, we're keeping the rain chance pretty dry. So, in fact, no rain chance for today. Mostly cloudy skies become more partly cloudy-like. Temps in the 60s this afternoon.
Well, as 2025 draws to a close, the U.S. Army reaffirmed their commitment to soldiers after another successful year.
The U.S. Army met its fiscal year 2025 recruiting goals, signing contracts with more than 61,000 future soldiers a full 4 months before the end of the fiscal year.
So 5 of the Army's largest installations are now poised to provide soldiers with a wider variety of nutritious meals available at flexible hours and improved dining environments thanks to the Army Food Program's campus-style dining venue pilot program.
The Army also implemented new grooming policies following a force-wide review of military standards. The updated policies aimed at increasing soldier readiness and professionalism ensures leaders and soldiers alike are more quickly able to understand what right looks like regardless of gender or any other distinguishing characteristic. In other news, President Trump awarded multiple soldiers and Marines with the recently established Mexican Border Defense Medal during a ceremony this week at the White House.
The award recognizes service members who deployed as part of Joint Task Force Southern Border to the U.S.-Mexico border to provide military support for the Department of Homeland Security and U.S. Customs and Border Protection.
Prior to the Mexican Border Defense Medal's aforementioned revival, service members who served on the border were recognized with the Armed Forces Service Medal.
The Naval Air Warfare Center's Innovation Center in California is turning ideas into solutions for many defense contractors, saving time and money. Employees can design, build, and test ideas sooner, and not boomer sooner right there, which helps deliver capability to the warfighter faster.
The Innovation Lab uses 3D printers, laser cutters, and computer numerical control machines to help teams build prototypes in days instead of months. Well, for the 30th time in half a century, the aircraft carrier USS Nimitz is coming home one last time. The ship has called Norfolk, Virginia, San Diego, California, and Everett, Washington home during its time in service.
Now, the Navy's oldest carrier is making a short stop at Naval Magazine, Indian Island, before the final approximately 50-mile trip south today to its berth in Bremerton, Washington at Naval Base Kitsap. The Nimitz has seen action during the 1980 Iran hostage crisis, both wars in Iraq, the war in Afghanistan, and against ISIS.
The ship is set to be decommissioned and deactivated sometime next year. Well, the Air Force has recovered a drone that crashed off the coast of Korea last month. After the break, we'll take a look at what's making headlines across the military.
7 News at 10, you can count on us.
Every evening,
A man charged in a deadly hit and run from 2023 has been sentenced.
7 News is working for you.
There's another shakeup in the Lawton City Council as another member announces their resignation.
Your first alert for what's next.
That triple-digit heat that you saw in those two towns, that'll be throughout most of our areas we heading in next week.
Uncovering breaking stories that impact Texoma.
The Lawton Firefighters Association is raising awareness about critical staffing issues.
7 News, working for you every night at 10. KSWO and the Lawton Fort Sill community want to thank our service members and their families for their service and sacrifice. We are extremely proud of your courage, dedication, and daily commitment to protecting our freedoms. To recent graduates and their extended families, congratulations on your accomplishment and welcome to our community. Lawton Fort Sill is a unique area like no other in the country. With our strong working relationship with our armed forces, thank you for everything you do for us. Every evening,
The Duncan Police Department has arrested a suspect.
7 News is working for you. Your first alert for what's next.
Here's the way things stand as of right now.
Uncovering breaking stories that impact Texoma.
A small school district in southeast Oklahoma is closer to closing its doors.
Checking facts and finding solutions. 7 News, working for you. Every night at 5 and 6. Today's headlines, tonight's breaking news,
Watch this video.
and tomorrow's first alert.
Tracking storms tonight that'll impact your morning commutes.
Stream tonight, stream anywhere. 7 News at 10, you can count on us.
7 News, working for you. Every night at 5 and 6. Get ready for your day with the First Alert 7 app.
Work has begun to demolish one of the Navy's old support activity buildings in New Orleans.
Rob Masson has reaction from the community members who say that they're glad to see the eyesore is finally being taken down.
For more than a decade, the 25-acre former Naval Support Activity Building on Poland Avenue has been the neighbor nobody wants.
It has a lot of history. It has a lot of good things. It has a lot of bad things.
After fires, shootings, and a big homeless sweep last week, work crews have now moved in, bulldozing away debris.
Very excited. It's a heavy lift. I think we're all sort of relieved that it's underway.
Sean Barney is part of the local development group that will transform the old base into 294 affordable housing units and 32,000 square feet of retail space in Phase 1.
I think that it is the epitome of what a public-private partnership should look like.
The project relies on private financing, which just came through last week, as well as community development block grant money, HUD grants, and historic tax credits.
I remember way back in the day when there was a functioning naval base. So I'm glad they're doing something with it.
The second phase of the project will also include a facility which aims to foster new tech companies.
This will be the footprint of New Lab, which is dealing with the technology and the innovation.
Later phases could include new park areas where the industrial canal meets the river.
Real exciting. Finally, after years of waiting, years of promises, this project, this development, this property is going to be something for the entire city, not just New Orleans, but I think our surrounding parishes will also see a benefit from all of the jobs and economic and housing opportunities.
This massive project languished for nearly a decade as the late developer Joe Yeager tried to put together a funding package to bring its redevelopment to fruition.
We're only sorry that he's not here to see it actually happen, but he was a big part of it.
Construction of nearly 300 affordable housing units and a refurbished garage is expected to take 2 years.
Much more work to do, so stay tuned.
But 14 years after the Navy shut down a facility that at one time employed more than 4,000 workers, the rehabilitation of the old Naval Support Activity is finally underway.
Well, a Fort Hood soldier has been sentenced to over 25 years in prison after pleading guilty to fatally shooting his wife in their home earlier this year.
John Mwangi will also have to forfeit pay and allowances, reduction to the rank of E1, and a dishonorable discharge from the Army. He will serve his time at the U.S. Disciplinary Barracks at Fort Leavenworth.
U.S. and South Korean forces have recovered an Air Force drone that crashed last month off the country's western coast.
The MQ-9 Reaper, assigned to the 431st Expeditionary Reconnaissance Squadron at Kunsan Air Base, was involved in an incident during a routine mission last month. The 431st thanked its ROC partners for their assistance with recovering the drone. Taking a look at your good news, an Air Force veteran in Texas who was brought to tears after being provided a mortgage-free home from a local nonprofit.
Philip Jason Greenberg served 6 years in the Air Force, including time overseas. Like many veterans, the hardest battles followed him home. Philip lives with lifelong injuries and PTSD. Complications from surgery led to the loss of his leg earlier this year.
However, despite the roller coaster life has thrown him, his post-service, he remains in good spirits.
It's not like somebody bought you a book, you know, or a video game, or, you know, it's a house. It's a house. You know, it's a whole house with a yard and a fence.
I always like seeing stories that, you know, where communities and organizations give back like that. A family, now on to the next story, a family who volunteers their time at military hospitals on the East Coast received the surprise of a lifetime when they found out that their son was home for the holidays and was one of the patients.
Katie Lusso has more on this wholesome holiday reunion.
Inside the American Red Cross office in Fairfax, volunteers were hard at work Monday packing up stockings and writing cards for patients at military hospitals at Fort Belvoir and Walter Reed. Little did the Consul family know their son was there too.
Come here, please.
The parents of U.S. Army soldier PFC Patrick Consul brought to tears as they reunited with their son for the first time in 19 months.
I missed you.
He's been stationed in Korea since July of 2024.
So I don't think of myself as emotional, but you know, when you see your son after you haven't seen him for a year and a half, and you're so proud of him for what he's doing and the commitment he's made. I watched the Army-Navy game the other day, and I kept thinking about him the whole time. The whole time.
He says they are so incredibly proud of their son. Last year was the first Christmas they weren't together as a family. This year, not being together would have been made even more painful as his mom was recently diagnosed with cancer.
I mean, it's hard to keep it together, really, because obviously she's been the most worried about. Your mother always worries about you the most. So having to hear from her all the time, saying she misses me, finally being able to see her again, it means everything. Really does.
Their holiday reunion thanks to the American Red Cross.
Once a year we pick one family from around the whole country, and so it just happened to be here in our local area this year, so it was really special.
An opportunity he does not take lightly.
Obviously it gets harder the longer you're overseas, and there's some heroes out there that have been overseas longer than I have, you know, so it's equally hard on everybody. It's not like someone has it worse or better than others. It's hard on everyone because you have to leave your home, what's familiar. So when you finally get the opportunity to go back and see them, like, it's just pure elation.
Welcome home, Patrick! Here's your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Barrett Phillips.
And temperatures quite a bit warmer than what they were yesterday at this time. For yesterday morning, temperatures were in the 30s and 20s, even a few teens throughout the area. Quite a variance yesterday morning. This morning, not so much of a variance, maybe a little bit from northeast to southwest, but in general, temperatures in the low 40s to upper 30s, just depending on your location. 38 right now at the airport, 39 in Duncan, 38 as well in Altus. And those temperatures about 15 to 20 degrees above where they were this time yesterday, so definitely a lot milder out there temperature-wise, kind of getting off to a better, warmer start today than what we did yesterday, that's for sure. So you do notice a little bit of an area upper level low pressure here across our area, the South Plains, and that is providing some cloud coverage. Nothing falling from the clouds, so dry conditions, but the cloud coverage just acting like a blanket across the area to hold the heat in. You notice once you go to the clear areas to our north and east, temperatures in the 20s further on to our northeast there. And you do also notice that the storm track is well north of us, and so because of that, we're talking above average temps really rolling through really really the rest of the 7-day forecast, really. So your Fort Sill physical training forecast looks like this. Temperatures near 40 degrees starting out, a light south wind of 5 to 10 miles an hour. Also some mostly cloudy to cloudy skies out there. Temperatures near 40 degrees. Later on in the day, for your day planner, we'll see temperatures near 53 by 11 a.m. Definitely warmer tomorrow morning than what, or this afternoon than what we saw yesterday afternoon. Will actually be in the 60s.
Well, thanks for watching. Good morning, Fort Sill.